All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I have a video here that's making its rounds right now on Twitter, going super viral because of the situation with Assassin's Creed Shadows. And this particular video comes from a content creator called Fighting Cowboy. Now, I've never seen this content creator. I know he's a big content creator apparently, but I've never heard of him, never watched his content, had no idea who he was up until this point. Apparently, he did know who I was though, because he's pre-blocked me. So maybe I have no idea. I really don't know what his political leanings are. I really don't care at the end of the day. But apparently he knew who I was, but I didn't know who this guy was. But I saw this clip, and I got to tell you, this clip has so many issues with it. And again, I want to talk about what he's talking about, not necessarily who he is, because I don't know who he is. But in terms of talking about what he's talking about, there's a lot of problems here and a lot of different ideologies and disingenuous nature that's coming from this. And I really wanted to talk about it and go over the overall reaction that people have to this particular clip online. So it seems as if Fighting Cowboy is having a little bit of a melty melt right now, simply because he seemed to have gotten trolled in his chat when he was trying to play Assassin's Creed Shadows. It seems like people were talking about Yasuke, maybe making jokes about there being black samurais or whatever the case may be. And it seems like he had a little bit of a melty melt over it. I don't know if he's left leaning. I don't know if he's right leaning. I don't know if he's in between. Fence sitter. I have no idea. All I know is if you got millions of subscribers and you have almost 1,000 people watching you in your chat, and you're choosing to focus on the couple of negative comments that you were getting about Yasuke while you're playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is a game that should be heavily criticized right now, I think there are bigger issues at play right now. So let's get into this video, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So this video came on my homepage, and it says from this person, "See, this is why I always rocked with Fighting Cowboy. That man just crashed out on stream over people in his chat being racist about a black samurai. Man's just trying to play the damn game and people being fucking weirdos over Assassin's Creed Shadows." Here's the problem about this, right? Before we get into the video, I can't take people like this seriously. I just can't. The reason why is because we know, right? I know, you know, they know, they'll never admit it, that they will never keep the same energy if their roles were reversed, right? If there was an Assassin's Creed Africa, right? Sub-Saharan Africa, and it was starring a white guy, right? Who was going around murdering black people, you guarantee that these people would have a melty melt. They would be saying, "Oh my God, that's racist." They would be losing their fucking minds. Suddenly, it wouldn't just be a video game. It wouldn't just be what's the big deal. It wouldn't be anything like that. The energy would completely change. Then the complete bullshit that these people are putting out there about justifying Yasuke, and the reason why Ubisoft made their decision to switch up and use Yasuke instead of a male Japanese samurai, it's such absolute nonsense. And they're trying to put it out there as if, "Oh my God, you guys are just being weird." No, I think it's weird that you so desperately want to see yourself in feudal Japan murdering Asian people. I just think it's very odd to me. But that's besides the point. Let's look at the video and see what's going on here with Fighting Cowboy, because again, this video, it's a little bit interesting to me. Let's break it down really quick.
I don't give a fuck what your opinion is of this game. I don't care. Your opinion is worthless to me. The quality of health of my morning shit had a bigger impact on my thought process today than you being upset that there's a black guy in Assassin's Creed. So shut the fuck up.
So just right off the bat, really quick, I find it really weird, dude, what this recent trend is of streamers just attacking the people that are in their chat. Like, I understand, like, when I get trolls, right, depending on what they're doing, if my troll is like spamming the chat, for example, I'm gonna ban him because he's not trying to engage in conversations, not trying to do anything other than spam the chat and try to disrupt chat. So I'm gonna ban him, right? Just to preserve the chat, I'm gonna ban him. However, if he's in there trolling and asking questions or throwing out comments, I might ask a question back, depending if I want to entertain it. I might ask a question back to see what the thought process is. Maybe we can engage in conversation. Maybe it could spark a conversation that might be good for the stream or something along those lines. But this man is just straight up attacking people in the chat because they're making jokes about Yasuke, which they're allowed to do, right? They're allowed to make jokes about Yasuke. They're allowed to make jokes about you. They're allowed to make jokes about whatever. I just don't understand the recent trend of people telling everybody, "Shut the fuck up," blah, blah, like just straight up attacking people without even like, I have no idea. I just think it's a little bit odd, man. These people These people are choosing to watch you, right? They're choosing to watch you for a reason. If they're hate watching, who cares, bro? It helps you at the end of the day. Just ignore them. My thing is, you have almost 1,000 people watching, according to your stream number here on the bottom. You have almost 1,000 people watching you stream this game right now at the current time you recorded this video. And you chose to focus on the couple of people that were making jokes about YASUKE. Either there was a lot of people making jokes, meaning the majority of your chat, or you focused on the little bit of people that were, and you stopped your entire stream to have this conversation. Well, it's not even a conversation, more like a melty belt.
All right? We're not doing this shit. It's a fucking video game. If you are upset that there's a black guy in a video game, fuck off. I don't want you here.
That is literally downplaying the entire argument, by the way. That is downplay. See, this is what they do. Again, I don't know what his politics are, but this is what I see the left do a lot of the time, right? And sometimes I see the right do it too, but for the most part, it is the left, like 95% of the time. What they do is they take your argument and they try to downplay it into very simplistic boxes, right? So if you have multiple issues with Assassin's Creed Shadows, you can talk about the AI being terrible, the facial animations being garbage, the voice acting being atrocious, literally atrocious, the dialogue being horrible, YASUKE being unfitting, just completely throwing off the entire story. He feels out of place the entire time. You could talk about all these things and they'll take all of that and they'll say, so you just don't like a black guy being in Japan, huh? And that's what they're going to do. They downplay your argument and they make it seem like something that it's not, because it benefits them if they do that. That way, they could just put you in a box and toss you out. That's all they're trying to do.
I don't care. Stop. I'm not doing this fucking argument. Every goddamn game these days. Oh, it's woke. Oh, there's a black guy. Oh, there's a trans person. Shut the fuck up.
See, that's disingenuous as fuck. Okay, that probably is one of my biggest issues with this entire video, is because he's trying to say every goddamn game. I'm telling you right now, if you are looking at every goddamn game, sir, and you are viewing it as a controversial ideological battleground, then that means that you are consuming that content every single day. Because there are a multitude of video games that have come out with no controversy. There are a multitude of video games that have come out that were gamer supported. There are, you know what's funny? I never hear you guys talk about the controversy that was being caused during Black Myth Wukong's pre-release and up to release, because you know what? The controversy that was being caused was by people that you seem to ideologically agree with. All the journalists, all the leftists, all the people that were trying to denigrate the game science studio, they were trying to denigrate the studio that made Black Myth Wukong. It was you guys. You guys were causing the controversy by trying to make it seem like it was made by sexist developers, misogynistic developers. You guys were causing the controversy. The only difference is that your controversy didn't do a fucking thing. And that's why you guys don't talk about it. Your controversy didn't do a goddamn thing other than continue to lead to the success of Black Myth Wukong. That's all it did. And you tried. You guys tried. You tried your best, but you failed. But then now you're going to complain because the controversy is coming for one of your games that you ideologically agree with? Come on, bro. At the end of the day, man, people have been complaining about games for the longest time. Decades, bro. Decades, okay? People have been complaining about video games since damn near inception. And you're going to try to sit up here and pretend as if that's a new thing? That's a new thing? People complaining about video games is a new thing? No, it's not, bro. It's been happening for ages. Gamers have been fighting for ages. Stop pretending as if it's happening now all of a sudden. So if you think that every game has had controversy, like every fucking game, if you are like that, then that means that you are consuming that content at an exorbitant rate. And it is you who has the problem, not other people. Because if you just wanted to play a video game, then you would just play a video game. You wouldn't stop, look at a couple of troll comments in the chat, and make it an entire melty melt video over it.
Either play the game or go the fuck outside, bro. It's not that hard.
So what about the people who played the game and still have issues, like myself, for example? What's the excuse there, right? I review video games on Hypnotic Live. That's what I do. That's what I like to do. That's what I enjoy doing. What's the excuse there, right? I'm putting in the hours. I'm putting in the time. I'm playing your woke-ass video game. What is the excuse there at that point, right? I take my feelings out of it, and I try to be objective as possible. I said some good things about the game, said some bad things about the game, right? What is your excuse there? If you're telling people play the game, and then you're mad when people that play the game have issues with it, what's the problem?
God damn. I've been on this earth 37 fucking years. When I was a kid, guess what? If a game came out and I didn't want to get involved with it, I didn't fucking play with it. I didn't go on the internet and cry like an entitled little child. Wah, 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 wah. The game doesn't have stuff that I want.
You sound so fucking stupid, bro. And I don't even know you. That's the sad part. First off, if you're 37 years old, when you were a kid, you didn't have internet, okay? Most likely, you didn't have internet. Or if you did, it damn sure wasn't in the level that it is now where you could go online and play online video games or go on forums and have all this fucking like, you didn't have that. You didn't have access to that, number one. Number two, you didn't spend your hard-earned money on these games. You got to understand, this is coming from a disingenuous place. I don't know if you're very privileged. Like I said, you have a really big channel, but your views don't really, they don't really make sense considering you got 1.5 million subscribers. You're averaging 2,000-3,000 views a video. It doesn't really make sense. But that's besides the point. I don't really care about that. I don't know if you're coming from a privileged standpoint, but you're talking to people who, for some people, that's $70, that's $70, $80, and they're going to spend on that one video game. That's got to last them like 4 or 5 months sometimes. That's got to last them months of entertainment because they can't afford to get video game after video game after video game. Some people just can't do that. And I think that you are talking from a place that you can do that, and you're trying to make it seem as if it's not a big deal. There's people out there that have to make that $70 go really far. And the last thing they want to do is waste that money on a bait and switch video game, which is why there are streamers out there like myself that will offer that level of transparency to people. That way they can watch the streams and use me as an extended trial to see if it's something that you want to invest your money in. But I don't blame people for being upset that these video games are trying to bait and switch them. I don't blame them at all. I don't blame them for being upset that video games seemingly have been co-opted by activists that seem to think like you. I don't really know you, but seem to think like you to the point where now we have so much shit that we got to deal with, to the point where now there's an entire economy that is built around the idea of being transparent when the gaming industry doesn't want to be, right? Like we didn't exist before this because we didn't have to. Now we do, and this is where we're at.
So shut the fuck up and leave, bro. Are you that much of a fucking loser that you're seeking out streams of a game you don't like just to be like, wah, I don't like this. There's a black guy. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Everybody cares. That's the funny thing. If people didn't care, this game would not be getting cooked right now. This game is getting cooked. It's performing half of Dragon Age: The Veilguard, and that's pathetic enough as it is. And we all know how that ended. So you saying that people don't care? No, people clearly do care. This is why this game is underperforming to the level of which it is. And I think you try to pretend as if people don't care because you don't care. Bro, first off, you clearly care, right? You clearly, obviously care, number one. And number two, for telling everybody else, oh, you don't care. Bro, people are going into your chat because maybe they want to see your opinion about the game, right? They may not like the game. They may have preconceived ideas about the game. They may be judging the game, early, whatever the case may be, but they are going into your stream to get an idea of what you think about the game, right? Even if they already hate it. And sure, maybe they want to make fun of it. Maybe they want to make a Yasuke joke here and there, but they still went into your stream to see your opinion of the game. And you're telling them to fuck off because they made a joke about Yasuke?
That's all. This is the only rant. I'm getting this shit out of the way now. Stop. Because any comment, any fucking comment, I'm just gonna ban you. I don't care.
Wow.
I'm just gonna fucking ban you. I don't care. I don't have time for it, bro. I'm here to play a fucking game, not listen to you cry about a black dude that existed in history, that was brought over to Japan as a slave and then taken on by Nobunaga and made a fucking retainer. All right.
Oh wow, we're just hitting people with the Wikipedia facts, huh? That's what we're doing. Just the Wikipedia warrior. Okay, that's all I needed to see. I gotcha. So, not a samurai. I like this comment, by the way. So people are having a little bit of a melty melt over it. Obviously, you're gonna have some people be like, yes, Slay Queen. They don't watch his content, by the way. You got these people who are like, I've never followed in subs so fast. Yeah, you're not gonna watch his content. That's why he's got 1.5 million subs and averages like 3,000 views a video. That makes sense. You also got people that are just destroying him, right? Even though there are some people that are faking positivity and they're like, yeah, Slay Queen, amazing. You got people saying, laugh my fucking ass off, cry more. Nah, this is a retarded take. Again, people are just absolutely destroying him. I've been a huge Cowboy fan for years. I don't think I've ever seen him this frustrated. Good on him for calling out these crybabies. And again, he is trying to pretend as if he doesn't have any time, any whatever for this conversation, and yet he stopped his entire stream to focus on a couple of troll comments and then made an entire video of it. I think a male Japanese character would have made more sense if the game claims to be based on history. You honestly don't see this as Ubisoft pandering to check a box? Of course it is. Of course it is. He just proved he's dumb as fuck nice. Of course it is, man. Like, people know why Ubisoft made this decision. They started this game in 2020. They originally had a male Japanese samurai as the protagonist and switched it up after what happened to St. Floyd, and they decided this is the route they wanted to go. So ultimately, again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know why he blocked me. Maybe he has a blockchain, probably a leftist, really have no idea. But I feel as if at this point, you know, this is not about him as a person, because again, I don't know him. I have no idea who he was up until this video. But what I will say is that it seems as if he's probably having a little bit of issues on the inside. Perhaps he got frustrated on the stream and then he decided to take it out and take the safe route. At the end of the day, man, if you're going to start harping on this, I just hope that you keep the same energy. Keep the same energy. If it ever happens the other way, I highly doubt it ever will. But if it ever happens the other way, and we get video games that should feature black protagonists, and they have glowing, glistening white people like you as the main protagonist, I hope you keep the same energy. We all know that you probably won't. We all know that people that are cheering you on most definitely won't. But at the end of the day, just keep the same energy, because people have every right to complain about something if they want to, especially if they were fans of the franchise and they feel betrayed. And stop treating people as if that $70 is not a big deal, because for a lot of people, that is. And you are fucked up for making it seem like it's not. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.